Everybody, how we doing tonight? How's everybody? Give a few minutes to have people start coming out. What's up, Don, Merlin, Kevin, Don Terry, Rumble Seat? Bunch of people on here. All right, good. Well, let's jump right into it. I don't know if what I just put on there will come up as a link, a clickable link. That's the website. The website is live. So you guys are the first ones that are going to be able to go on there. Now, before everybody takes off and goes running, tickets are not ready to be sold yet. We're still waiting on a couple behind the scenes things. So at this point now, it's going to be tomorrow at the earliest. I'm hoping to get everything straightened out. Like I say, this is an unavoidable delay. Doesn't mean anything except that we're one day, one less day of selling. But everything's still moving ahead as planned. We just are trying to finish the legal stuff behind the scenes of the website before we start selling tickets. So that being said, that is the link, or that is the web address for the Derby page. The Derby website is also still a work in progress, but we have enough into it now that we can at least open it up and let people go in and look around, and there's going to be a lot of changes still and mostly additions. There's still some things that we have time, and we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time to work everything out. Babe, Hiram Moore says, I took the whole month off just so I don't miss this ticket sale. Well, right on, Hiram. Yeah, I don't want to say I didn't realize how much there is to it, but there's a lot to it. But let's talk about a few other things. So like I say, so the website is up. Go right there and check it out. And again, I've had so many people messaging me, which is wonderful for the excitement level. And I can hear it in people's messages. They're like, man, I'm ready. And this is going to be awesome. And it's going to be. It is going to be awesome overload. But we're just not ready to sell the tickets yet. So I did hear back from Bill Evans out at the Hatchery, and not only did they agree to do the tagging with us like we talked about the other night, but he got back to me today that his higher ups in the DEC said that I can go in there, I can film. Hopefully we'll do a full tour with somebody. It'd be great with Bill if he has the time, because man, he's a wealth of knowledge. But hopefully we get to go and do a full walkthrough. I want to do it in the same kind of format we do Jake from Cornell out on the lake, walk and talk and go through the stuff in the hatchery. And I think I'd even like to do that live, as long as I have a decent signal inside the hatchery. I'd like to do that live and really have some interaction and make that like a full, hour-long episode or something that we plan for in advance. But yeah, super exciting that he said that they were on board, and and we could do the live and post it to YouTube and all that stuff, man. So that's pretty cool. And also, I spoke with JJ today. JJ is the owner of Spruce Grove on the North Shore in Constantia, and he agreed to be a way station like they have done in the past. So welcome aboard. So that's 3 way stations that well, 4. There's the one at Lighthouse Park, which is where the Derby headquarters are in the festival grounds. We have Lakeside Outfitters, we have Apps Landing, and now we have Spruce Grove. So that's 4. I'm looking for one more. I have a call out to Kevin at A&P for the 5th one. And I think that'd be 2 on the North Shore, 2 on the South Shore, and one on the West End. So that's my thought. That's my thought. So lots of cool stuff. We keep going over things and going over them and just keep fine tuning. And we have 2 months still left to do that. I mean, nothing has to be set in stone necessarily until the day of the Derby, but I'm trying to get the rules pinned right down. So you'll see the rules and regulations on there, and that's my first draft. Those rules are still being checked with the legal department. But I'm pretty close. There's going to be some changes there. We're going to put up, there's a map on there showing way stations. That's got to be added because I haven't even told Mark, my web designer, that Spruce Grove's on board today. I might have already told them that they were possible, but so we've got a lot of other stuff there going on. And one of my Derby committee members and I went through the rules today, and we're talking about that. And like I say, it's funny making rules. Making rules is a bummer, honestly, because in a perfect world, everybody's upstanding and they're in it with high, levels of integrity and Stephen, yes, they're going to be checked. And remember, this is so Stephen Eddy's comment is, are fish going to be checked for foreign objects to increase weight? Of course, we all know what happened in Lake Erie last year. It's not the first time it's happened, but it's the most recent, and everybody's talking about it. But remember, the Lions Club Derby is first and foremost a length derby. Length is what determines the leaderboard. The only time weight comes into play is in the event of a tiebreak, and the length is down to the 1/8 of an inch. All right, so let's say the top 2 fish are both 28 and 1/8. Okay, great. Now we go to weight to the 100th to settle the tie. And if it goes past that, and if by some stroke of luck both those fish were exactly the same length and exactly the same weight to the 100th, then we would go to the girth measurement, measured down to the 1/8 of an inch. And if that failed, then you go to a coin toss at that point. Those fish are right down the line. You go to a coin toss, heads or tails. But I wouldn't expect it to ever get past the first one, which would be weight. Okay, so are we checking them? The Derby reserves the right to inspect any fish in any way it deems necessary. So we have things in place to check internally and externally. So yes, to answer that question, it's come up many times already and will come up many more times. Rumble say, no, not to the 16th, to the 8th. It's always been to the 8th. I didn't change any of that. That's exactly the way it was. Yeah, Merlin, yes. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I say it last night. Guys, we wouldn't be where we're sitting here today without Mark Webb. We're all gonna give Mark a big hug collectively, and when we see him at WalleyeFest, I'm gonna make him come up on stage and all that fun stuff, and we're really gonna give him an ovation, and we'll take care of him in other ways. And I know him and his son are going to fish with me a bunch, but he's done a ton of work all while working his regular job, like a lot of us are doing with this, but that's okay. That there's no complaints, and I know he's not complaining. We're enjoying it. We're doing it. Mark says he trades sneak peeks at the website for for coordinates for your honey hole. That's funny. Let's see who's here. There's a ton of people here right now. Let's say hi to everybody. Who's here? Who's doing what? Don Birdie, Merlin Johnson, Kevin Stone, Rumble Seat, Don Terry, Joseph Zeski, Mark Webb, Jim Carker, Hook and Eyes, John Doe. Hello, beautiful people. David Moss, good evening, sir, to you. Paul Horchak, good evening. Chris Bryan, good evening. One day closer to Derby time. That's right, buddy. I already read Hiram's comment earlier, but Hiram Moore said, I took the whole month off just so I don't miss the ticket sale. It's not going to take that long. I promise. It's funny how many people I've had. One of my close friends today has messaged me like 3 times and said, man, I really want to be the first one to buy a ticket. So make sure you tell me when we can go buy our tickets. And there's been a couple of people that have said, I want the inside track to be ticket number 1. But in the effort of fairness, when the time comes, I'm going to announce it, and everybody can. It's awesome. I mean, it's just awesome to think that people would care to want to even, be the first ticket. I think that's great. I think it's amazing. So Mark Webb's comment in reference to Hiram Moore's is, I took the whole month off to work on the website. Said to me this morning, he goes, I've had 6 hours of sleep and 3 pots of coffee. Stop talking to me. I love you, Mark. God, we're not here without you, buddy. We're not here without you. Good evening, Scott Duranda, Stephen Eddy, Captain Jason. What's up, buddy? Aaron Lussier, evening. Way station somewhere near Sylvan Beach. Other than having 2 people sit at a table outside along the wall, like, I don't know where we would put one down there. I don't know of anybody that has an operation, and so I don't think there's any tackle shops left in Sylvan Beach. If someone comes up with an idea for Sylvan Beach, I'm listening. Again, I don't know that I really want to have 2 people sitting out at a table, all evening, even during the day, just out there, So if people have ideas about the Sylvan Beach end, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. This is a new. You're gonna like this one, babe. This is a new name that I haven't seen before. Fat People Rock, spelled PH. I rock.
Pretty hot and tempting.
Yeah, I rock. Yeah, right on.
That was a Chris Tucker line.
What's that?
Chris Tucker line. Pretty hot and tempting.
Pretty hot and tempting. Did the emails go out today? No, they didn't, Aaron. I part of the reason they didn't, and I don't have anything to say yet because I don't know when this thing's going to happen. But the emails are going to go out, and they will be going out once we start this whole thing rolling. Mimi, I was talking with some friends of mine. They don't have internet to get a ticket. I had to go through my wife's internet. I'm not on Facebook or nothing. Okay, well, it's not. This doesn't have anything to do with social media. It's just a website. And
you need internet to get on the website.
Yeah, but I think he meant social media because he said I don't have, Facebook or nothing. So You only need a web connection to get onto the website. And let's say Mimi, for if one of your whole group has the internet, then one transaction, you can buy multiple tickets, but each ticket needs its own information, and that is name, address. And I don't know about the address part. Name, phone number, email address, and they have to be different for each person on the ticket. So if somebody out there has friends that don't have internet for whatever reason in any way, shape, or form, you can buy the ticket for them. And when you get your confirmation email for each of those tickets, you could print that off, and then that person has a physical ticket that they would bring with them, because it's going to have a what do you call those things, Mark? A QR code on there, and it'll be scanned when you're measuring, when we're weighing in your fish, and then so you're all set that way. But we don't have the way to do one-offs and I'll mail you something, or we just don't have the ability to do that. We got 5,000 people going to fish this derby. We can't be doing that. It's got to all be done in one spot online, and everybody's happy. Trust me, you're happy. Merlin, thank you all. Thank you, Mark, for your time and work. Yes. Dagoos. Looking to catch my first walleye at WalleyeFest. Right on, brother. Walleyes are the best. Where are we here? Rumble Seed asked earlier, and we talked about it. If we got 50 people watching at the same time, that's pretty cool. Fish are measured to the 1/8 of an inch, not to the 16th. Jim Hagler, good evening, all. Chris Bryan, I don't mean to pain, but usually, Chris, I haven't heard anything from Oneida Shores yet, and people can call there too. I don't know if I have any pull in can they do anything early or late. I'll certainly try, but I've not heard of anything yet. You're not being a pain, but I don't have an answer for you at this moment. Just Paul, good evening, man. I have to admit, I missed the morning show, my favorite time of the day. I've always been an early morning person. We're fishermen. Listen, we're not doing this every night. It's just worked lately, and I still held out hope today that I could announce that we were going to go live with ticket sales tonight. So that was another reason why I delayed today. But this is temporary. We'll go back and forth. I miss the morning. I'm up every morning anyway, at the ass crack of dawn, usually well before daylight. But without fishing right at the moment, I did make a few casts off the dock today. Excuse me. I tied up one of those. It's still on the rod over there. I tied up one of those finesse jigs. Come on, pretty good. I'm not reading that comment, Bob. Tim Graver, good evening to you. Don Birdie, if you're not number one, you're not the winner. Okay, that's spoken like a catcher that's taken a couple off the noggin. Chris Bryan says, I thought it would only be fair if Courtney bought the first ticket.
Aw, Chris.
And she said, thank you. Everyone is looking for the golden ticket. Ah, look at that. Brian Hammond. What's up, Hammer? Nice to see you out here. Fat People Rock says Lakeside is close enough to Sylvan Beach. Tony Shackelford, same thing. Lakeside is less than 10 minutes from there, so no biggie. Hiram Moore, I'm going to be in Cleveland. Any stations close? Yeah, Apps is right in Cleveland. Mike Urema. Okay, so this is an offer from Mike, and this is a great idea. And I'm sure if I talk to, we could set up a couple of these, I guess, I suppose. But Mike Urema says if someone stops by my shop, I can sign them up using the web. So, he could do it online while you're there oogling all of his blade baits. I haven't been over to the shop yet recently because he told me how much he's been doing in there, and he's got it all reset up and making a shop, a tackle shop out of a portion of it. So I'm excited to get over there and see everything. So Mike is offering to help everybody out too. Yeah, I know there's going to be some. So Chris Bryan just said, great offer, Mike. I'm sure some who are not very computer literate like me will take you up on that. Sure, absolutely. I understand, but logistically, this is the best way. It is the best way for everybody, and then that way there's no money flying around to collect. There's no there's no chance that something could get lost or misplaced or anything. This is we have control over it, and everything is good. You'll enjoy it, I swear. Captain Jason, and I'm not going to butcher your last name. There's a lot of consonants in there. You can phonetically pronounce it for me, and I'll say it. But we'll call you Captain Jason. Will people be able to present a digital ticket on their phone instead of a paper ticket? Yes, they will, because either way, it's the same thing. If whatever you would show on your phone is what you would be able to print out, and it's the same thing. So you can have it on your phone with the QR code right there, or you can print it out. Either way, it's the same thing. So you can have both. Tony Delamort, you old fart. Sorry I'm late. Had to take a nap to stay up this late. Joseph Zeski, do you know what the attendance used to be for Derby? You're saying 5,000 people for this one. Yeah, listen. How about this? So here is what Lions Club gave me. This is the Derby ticket sales historically. Now there's a few years, 2004 through 2007, they don't have any data, and 2020 they didn't do it because of COVID. It started in 1979. In the first year, they sold 700 tickets. 1980, they sold 1,100. 81, they sold 1,300. 82, 1,150. Now, from 83 to 92, that 10-year span, that was the height of this Derby. And so 83, there was 3,100. 84, there was 3,500. 85, 3,400. 86, 3,000. 87, 4,300. 88, 4,329. 89, the year I graduated high school. Go Central Square. 3,416. 1990, 3,758. 1991, the year that we're going to beat this year, is the most ever, 4,334. And then 92 was 3,500. After 92, they haven't been over 3,000 since then. And in the last, and it's been since 96 since they broke 2,000. And what I'm about to say has no intent to be disparaging to the Lions Club in any way. They just simply didn't have the resources that we're going to put into this. I don't know how else to say that. And this is something I'm aggressively chasing, and my partners that I teamed up with, and my good friend Chuck, they have the resources behind them to run festivals, to know how to put the infrastructure of this thing together. I've run tournaments before, and I have enough friends that are helping me with this derby to make it as incredible as we can make it, because we're all fishermen, and we're all fishermen putting on an event for fishermen, and that's a big difference. Some of these events are put on by non-fishermen, and again, I'm not saying the Lions Club were non-fishermen, but they were, not like we are. I'm just saying that's not like we are. And then also what they were doing is they were a little different. Their prize structure was static. This is what it was, no matter how many people entered. That's not the case with our prize structure, and like I say, and you can see in the rules and regulations page at the bottom, you'll see the prize structure, and that's the exact same one as last year from the Lions Club Derby. The difference this year is going to be that group of numbers is based on 1,000 tickets sold. Okay, so I think if you add all those numbers up, it's right around $10,000. So whatever that number is, that's for every 1,000. So if you have 2,000, now instead of first place being $2,000, it's 4,000. Okay, and all the rest of them increased by that same amount. And now if you have 3,000 or 4,000 or 4,500 or 5,000, it goes up increasingly. So now, you get up to 4,000 or 5,000 entries, and last place, the 16th through 25th, which was like $100, is now going to be 400 or 500 to be at the bottom of that leaderboard of 25 people. The top of it's going to be $8,000-9,000, and everywhere in between. So it's big money. And I put on there, we are doing 3 tagged fish, and I'm still working on 2 different deals with places about those tagged fish, and possibly getting, that's still in the works. So the 3 tagged fish, I don't have dollar amount or prize associated with them done yet. That's still to be determined, but as soon as it is, I will let you know. Let's see what else I got here. Alex Lamandola, do you have any good boat shops you'd recommend? Need some work done before the season starts. Well, Alex, what I will tell you is you better start calling now. And there's a number of good mechanics. I mean, right off the bat, I know Ron and Chrissy down to Oneida Lake Marina, and for that matter, their second marina, Bruton Boatyard. I've used Sean down on in Brewerton. What the hell's Sean's last name? Sean's Prop Repair, but he does mechanical work. He's got a beautiful shop. I know Freemax has mechanics on staff, but again, a lot of these places are still closed for the winter, so you got to try and get a hold of somebody and get on the schedule now for as soon as they open. And try and get your boat in before pleasure boaters who don't care if they see it till Memorial Day or later, Brian Heatherly, good evening. That's funny, Jason. So your last name is spelled Dzikiewiczz, but it's pronounced Jakevich. Jakovich? You knew that from the way it was spelled?
No, I'm reading his.
Oh, you're reading it too. I'm like, man, I would not have come up with starting with J.
Yeah, DZ. That I knew.
That's awesome. Mary Burke, howdy. Paul, hey, kind of off topic, but forgetting to ask you where to get the homegrown sweatshirts, t-shirts.
That blue one that you have on today, you got from the boat show or the
Yeah.
sportsman's show.
That was from the Starboard Rail, the one with all the Great Lakes on it. They were at the boat show last weekend. He's gonna be at WalleyeFest. He's gonna be one of the vendors.
You found a bunch of them at Walmart in Cicero by the
Yeah,
register.
oddly enough, some of those support local where we found them at Walmart of all places.
And Gander.
Um,
You got some at Gander.
that homegrown sweatshirt that I have was from Gander. Final weigh-in time. Kevin Smith says, what's the final weigh-in time on the 7th? 3 p.m. Okay. And Mike and I, it's funny, we had this rules discussion today. So here's the rule. Okay. The Derby closes at 3 p.m. So on Sunday. So if you've got the mega winning fish and you're hustling your ass and you get to the weigh station, it is 3 p.m. on the clock. It's already closed. It's not 3:01. It's 3. So 2:50. You have to be there by 2:59 because when it hits 3 p.m., not being accepted. And these are the rules, guys, that are for everybody. And as long as we all play by the same rules, then everything's fair. But I'm telling you that it ends at 3 p.m. So you need to be there before the clock strikes 3. Stupid glasses. I got to put them on and off and on and off and on and off. Got to advertise it. Yes, Stephen. We plan on it. And everybody that buys a ticket, you're also agreeing to help advertise this. You don't know that yet, but I'm telling you, you're by buying your ticket, you got to go out and keep saying, because it behooves you to do that, because the more people, the more money in the pot, and the better it'll be. And so once you buy a ticket, now all you guys are on the hook, and girls and kids, to go spread the word on your social media too, and share the link and share the website and get people over there and tell them how awesome it's going to be. Sean Judge. Thank you, Brian. I'm terrible with last names. Look at this, Brian Heatherly, Chief Heatherly. Nice. The New York Air National Guard. My great uncle was a chief over there and retired from there for years and years. Tim Cook, 89 grad too. Missed those days. Right on, man. Class of 89. The 80s were the best. Gail Arnold, thanks for the reminders and the late night show. Better dreams. All right, we're at 30 minutes. I can let you guys go, so all you old farts can get in bed.
You're gonna be asleep in 30 seconds.
I'll be asleep on the couch in about 15 minutes. Yeah, that's a great idea. Jim Carker said I need the logo behind me when I'm doing the show. That's funny. Birdie says I'm watching from bed now.
Oh, good Lord.
Jesus God. It's 8:30. Oh, shit. All right, everybody. I think that's it for updates. I'm going to try and wait to tomorrow to go live until I can say it's time to buy tickets. But please, everybody go check out the site, look around. Feel free to send me corrections or questions. Again, we have a lot of things that this is not a finished document, and it's gonna live and breathe a little bit throughout the next weeks and months. But what's the site name, Alex? If you scroll back up to the top of the comments, it's www. We have multiple domains, but and they'll all get you to the same place. But it's Oneida Lake WalleyeFest Derby.com. Mark, help me out here. It's Oneida Lake WalleyeFest.com, and it is WalleyeFest.com. So any of those three, whichever you remember, any of the three will take you to the website. And got it. Thank you. All right. Have a great evening. Go check it out. Let's get some traffic on there and get familiarized with it. And then pretty quick, we're gonna. Thanks, Brian. Brian Hammond said it looks. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Said it looks great. All right. I'm out of here. Call it an evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully with the bell to start the sales. It'd be awesome to see who turns out to be number one. So who's going to be the first one to get their ticket? I got a golden ticket. Love you guys. Keep your tip up.